The most dangerous woman in the galaxy chose me. I froze when I found out why. I'd always thought of myself as just another face in the crowd, a nobody in the vastness of the galaxy. But that changed the day I met her. Ravena, the most dangerous woman alive. Her name was whispered in fear on every inhabited world. Her deeds recounted in hushed tones in dimly lit cantinas. And now, for reasons I couldn't yet fathom, she was standing in my kitchen. It started as an ordinary evening. I'd just returned to my tiny apartment on Caldron Station, a backwater orbital far from anything important. The hum of interstellar traffic outside was soothing background noise as I reheated dinner. That's when I heard the sound, a faint, almost imperceptible shuffle behind me. Turning around, I saw her, dressed in a sleek black combat suit that seemed to ripple with a life of its own. Ravena stood there like a shadow made real. Her piercing green eyes glowed faintly, and the scar slashing across her cheek only added to her fearsome aura. My heart stopped. "You're quieter than I expected," she said, her voice low and sharp like a blade. What are you doing here?" I stammered, stepping back and clutching a kitchen knife. Not that it would have made any difference. "Relax, Ian," she said, smirking as if my fear amused her. "If I wanted you dead, you'd already be a memory." The fact that she knew my name only made things worse. How could someone like her know anything about a nobody like me? My hands trembled as I tried to maintain some semblance of composure. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Her smirk faded, replaced by an expression I didn't expect, something almost vulnerable. She took a step closer, and I instinctively froze. "I'm here because I need your help," she said, her tone softer now. I blinked. "My help? With what?" "You're Ravena. You've conquered fleets, toppled governments. What could someone like me possibly do for you?" She hesitated, as if struggling to find the right words. Then she said something that changed everything. "You're the only one who can unlock it." "Unlock what?" I asked, still trying to process what was happening. "A weapon," she said. "One that could either save the galaxy or destroy it. It's locked behind a biometrically coded device. And for reasons I haven't fully figured out, your DNA is the key." I stared at her, dumbfounded. "You've got to be kidding me. Do I look like I'm joking?" she snapped. Her intensity made me flinch. The weight of her words settled on me like a boulder. Somewhere out there was a weapon so powerful that even Ravena, the galaxy's most feared individual, couldn't wield it. And somehow, inexplicably, I was the key to unlocking it. "Why me?" I asked. "I'm nobody. I work a dead-end job. Enough with the self-pity." She cut me off. "There's no time for that. The Syndicate is after it, too. If they get it first," she trailed off, her expression darkening. "Let's just say you'll wish I'd killed you here and now. What happens if I refuse?" I asked cautiously. "You won't," she said matter-of-factly. "Because deep down, you know the galaxy's fate is bigger than your fears." She was right. I hated it, but she was right. Whatever this weapon was, it couldn't fall into the wrong hands. Reluctantly, I nodded. "Fine, I'll help you. But you'd better explain everything." Over the next few hours, Ravena laid it all out. The weapon, known only as the Catalyst, had been created centuries ago by a now-extinct civilization. It was designed to harness unimaginable energy, capable of terraforming worlds or obliterating them. Ravena's sources had uncovered its location, hidden on a desolate moon in the Proxima sector. But the device guarding it required a specific genetic sequence to activate, and somehow my DNA matched. The journey to the moon was tense. Ravena piloted her stealth ship with the precision of a seasoned veteran, while I sat in the co-pilot's seat, feeling more out of place than ever. Despite her fearsome reputation, I began to see glimpses of another side to her. She wasn't just a ruthless killer. She was someone burdened by the choices she'd made and the enemies she'd created. When we finally arrived, the moon's surface was as bleak and lifeless as Ravena had described. The facility housing the catalyst was buried deep underground, protected by automated defenses. Ravena's combat skills were on full display as she took out drones and turrets with effortless precision, while I followed her lead, trying not to get in the way. At last, we reached the core chamber. In the center stood the device, an orb pulsating with an otherworldly light. Ravena handed me a small interface device. "Place your hand on it," she instructed. I hesitated. "What if this thing kills us all?" "Then we're already dead," she said grimly. "But I trust you, Ian, more than I've trusted anyone in a long time." Her words shocked me, but I didn't have time to dwell on them. Taking a deep breath, I placed my hand on the device. The orb flared to life, and a surge of energy coursed through me. For a moment, I felt like I was connected to something vast and incomprehensible. Then just as quickly it was over. The orb dimmed, and Ravena stepped forward to secure it in a containment case. "It's done," she said, relief evident in her voice. As we left the facility, I couldn't help but feel a strange sense of accomplishment. For the first time in my life, I'd done something that mattered. Back on her ship, Ravena turned to me. "You surprised me, Ian. I didn't think someone like you would rise to the occasion. But you did." "What happens now?" I asked. She smirked. "Now, we make sure the catalyst stays out of the wrong hands. And who knows? Maybe I'll stick around. You're more interesting than I expected." As the ship soared into the stars, I couldn't help but smile. My ordinary life was over, replaced by something far more dangerous and exhilarating. And for the first time, I didn't mind at all.